Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a Venus conjunct Mars twin flame reading for my dearest Pisces. Pisces, on July 13th, Venus and Mars will align at 19 degrees of Leo. And this is something that happens every 2 years or so. And we're going to be feeling, or have been feeling, this energy a week on either side of the 13th. So Venus, the goddess of love, and Mars, the fearless warrior, when they come together, we feel an awakening of the feminine and masculine principles within us. This awakening will help shift our attitudes towards sexuality and relationships. So let's go ahead and jump into this, Pisces. I'm going to read divine feminine energy on the left, divine masculine on the right, and then we're going to see what's happening between you guys right down the middle. And remember, guys, I'm not reading, this is not a gender-specific reading. I'm reading energies, not genders, okay? So let's go ahead and see. Ooh, all right. So the feminine, we're getting blocked. Okay, interesting. So either the masculine has the feminine blocked, or she could feel like her intuition is being blocked at this moment, or is blocked by something. All right, and the masculine, oof, we got autonomy. Ooh, all right. So I'm already sort of getting some downloads and some messages here. So the feminine, the masculine may have blocked the feminine in this connection. Whether you know this person or not, many of you do, because there's something here about codependency. There's something, the masculine was either starting to feel manipulated or was starting to feel like the feminine was becoming too clingy. Again, that can also be a projection, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that that's true, that the feminine was doing that. It could be that the masculine is projecting past experiences, past life karma, something that's been passed down to him in his DNA. It can also be, you know, it's just negative imprinting, okay? That may be that, being in a relationship, is stifling, something like that. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Yeah, the masculine is like wanting, or is on his own, has the feminine blocked. All right, and we've got runner. Yeah, so I'm picking up very strongly that in this case, Pisces, the masculine is running because he wants to be on his own. Because he wants to focus on himself. I'm getting strong Venus and Virgo energy here off of this card. Maybe trying to build up his health or a business, maybe feeling like, okay, I just, I can't handle it. I'm getting this like this negative energy of like the ball and chain, like right now I just need to be on my own. And again, that could be because the masculine has been in previous relationships, or it could be something that's happened between the two, masculine and feminine, that's making him feel like he needs a breather. Okay, so we definitely have that runner-chaser dynamic coming through, and the feminine is blocked, either trying to understand why the masculine is behaving this way, what went wrong, okay? I see that she's really, the way she's holding her eye there, really looking for clarity, and also just a little bit miffed, a little bit confused as to what happened here in this situation. But we do have 11-11, so things are being brought into balance, and definitely this is an important number sequence for those of you on a twin flame journey. All right, so let's go ahead and see. Yeah, the masculine is just like wanting time on his own, wanting to look good, to feel good, needing a breather, needing a break. But I'm also getting that there's a little bit of, there's ego involved here as well, because she's on this card, she's looking and she's feeling amazing. But at the same time, she's all alone. Okay. So I do feel like there's a little bit of, I don't know. I feel like there's maybe a little bit of a shift here that's going to take place, but let's see what happens. All right. With the divine feminine, 8 of Wands, energy surge and communication. So I do feel like communication is blocked between you guys. The feminine may be reaching out to the masculine and again, not getting any answer, being ignored, or they're actually blocked on social media or on some sort of messenger service. The energy surge in communication tells me that the feminine, I feel like, has resorted to, trying to, this is my card of law of manifestation, law of attraction. So resorting to communicating in the 5D, in the dream space, in the remote soul planes. I do get that there may even be like spell work, or there may even be just this real intense desire to communicate with the masculine, especially since, it feels like he's done a runner here. We have the devil. So we have obsession. So this may even be leading to the feminine becoming obsessed with the masculine or calling the masculine in. Now, again, you may not even know who your twin flame actually is, you guys, but it could be this sort of loneliness that sort of, if there's a scarcity mindset, the feminine here could be locked or blocked into an energy of being on her own. Because there's something here about independence or, codependency that's being brought to the surface that needs to be healed and cleared. Some of you may be dealing with a Capricorn, or maybe you have Capricorn in your chart. But I also feel like the feminine right now is obsessed with getting some sort of communication or some sort of validation, or even getting eyes on the masculine to see what's happening, what's going on. But I am picking up on a little bit of an energy here of desperation. Okay, and I'm being called to sort of touch my solar plexus here, you guys. So again, doing some solar plexus work might be might be important for you if you're identifying with this, if you're feeling like you're in a bit of an obsessive energy trying to manifest this. Okay, it could be a connection that's already passed, or you're just trying to call in your divine masculine. So we have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So there's some sort of karmic review that needs to take place, or that is taking place. The 7 of Pentacles in reverse talks about delays and frustrations, but it's also looking at something that has ended. Okay, and it's almost like obsessing over an ending, but being very anchored in the past or replaying that ending. I feel like there's a lot of guilt and shame that the divine feminine is carrying around with her, that spirit is asking you to purge and release, and to be present, okay, to be much more present. And then we have the 5 of Cups in reverse. I love this because this is about you, the divine feminine, those of you who identify as this is healing. 5 of Cups is about shifting your focus. There is an unbreakable bond between you and your twin, and you guys are always connected. I do feel like you will be receiving communication, but it's this ending and this obsessive energy, this devil energy, negative patterns, processes, behavior patterns that need to be broken. And I do feel like this autonomy, which is being exuded by the masculine. Remember, we are connected. So the work that you do, the healing that you do, is going to affect your counterpart. And the masculine, being in this autonomous energy, is really bringing up what needs to be addressed in the feminine, which is ultimately going to bring you closer together. So the Page of Pentacles. So I do feel like the divine masculine here, there may be some sort of communication, but I feel like the divine masculine is very focused on work, very focused on getting healthy. Again, I get really strong Venus and Virgo energy with this card. I'm not really sure why, but the Page of Pentacles is about, making a plan, setting out a roadmap for wellness, maybe very focused on work. Very focused on sort of 3D, but I'm getting that it's a positive thing. 10 of Pentacles, look at that ultimate achievement. So the divine masculine is absolutely working towards safety, security, and stability. And, the divine masculine's happily ever after, but taking those steps. And I feel like the divine feminine is blocked, but also a little bit stagnant, not sure which way to go, which direction to move in, until this purge and release really takes place, and this shift of focus. Because I do feel with the masculine focused on the 3D, focused on health, focused on wellness, focused on career. Again, you may be dealing with somebody here, maybe a business owner. But what I'm seeing here is that, like, when the divine feminine purges and releases and absorbs this energy that the masculine is emitting, focusing on autonomy, on strength, on independence, on safety, security, and stability, that this is when we're going to see these breakthroughs take place. We see the 6 of Swords in reverse. So what I'm seeing with the 6 of Swords, the divine masculine is in an energy of wanting to avoid conflict and setting up very, very strong boundaries. But I do see that there's a little bit of a warning here, because I do think the divine masculine made a very strong decision that may have left the divine feminine feeling confused or abandoned, but so that these issues could really come to the surface. I do feel like with the Six of Swords, there's an energy of backpedaling or going backwards. And I do feel like the divine masculine may have or be working towards everything that he needs. But the one thing that may be missing is that divine counterpart and the love and the compassion that's offered by the feminine. So I do feel like there was a little bit of, they're showing me the Fool card. Some of you may be dealing with an Aries or have Aries in your chart. But there may have been a little bit of a hasty decision on the divine masculine's part, or the divine masculine feeling as if, you know, he would be okay on his own, but also missing a little piece of the puzzle. Okay. So I do get there's a little bit of there may have been hasty decision. And so that may also, you know, be a little lesson for the masculine, because I do feel like he's coming back around. But we get the Three of Pentacles in reverse, but he's currently not in this energy of wanting to build each other up. I feel like he's on a very solo journey. I feel like he's very, you know, and when I say this, it's not like an energy of narcissism. It's not an energy of, okay, he doesn't, but right now it's like there's not a vibrational match, because the divine feminine needs to work through and purge and release an ending, or looking at what hasn't worked, but not looking at an us, but looking at a me, okay? Being a little bit more me focused, like that Venus and Virgo energy, doing what's healthy for her, taking a look at any sort of negative behavior patterns or thought processes that arise, and most likely because of a lack of reciprocity, or being in connections or situations that aren't balanced, or, you know, some sort of or an energy of lack, or fear-based thinking of not having enough, or something about abandonment that has been brought to the surface. When that is healed and cleared, that's when I see communication opening up and you guys becoming more aligned. But I do see that the masculine right now, you know, is sort of like, when I say in an energy of juggling, it doesn't necessarily mean that there are romantic rivals, but the masculine is about finding balance for himself, working towards this Ten of Pentacles, whatever it might be, and can't focus on anybody else, or feels that being in a relationship or being in union with divine feminine would somehow take away from that. Okay, and there's also a lesson there to be learned for the masculine. All right, so let's see. So we do see this runner-chaser dynamic playing out, but we see the Six of Wands. This is about success and recognition. So I feel like as the divine feminine successfully manifests what it is that she wants apart from this union, we see this shift in thinking, we see this shift in energy, and this shift in focus. And this is also about getting the recognition that she's looking for from the masculine, okay, which can very well lead to a reconciliation or, you know, divine union. Now we have the Hermit card. I love this Virgo energy. So some of you guys, again, could be dealing with a Virgo. I know Pisces, you guys came out in the Virgo reading, so you guys are on the same axis. That makes sense. But what I'm seeing here, the Hermit, the masculine is also, and I feel like it has to do with the haste at which the masculine made a decision or disappeared or dipped or whatever. But also this energy of, I've got this, you know, I'm a star on my own. I can't focus on the divine feminine. I'm going to focus on my coin. But this also, this soul searching, this realization that, you know, there's more abundance when it comes to everything, love, money, you know, success in general, you know, when two people really build each other up. And I feel like that's the lesson here that's being learned. I also do feel like if the masculine ghosted or dipped or went silent, that he will be resurfacing to, you know, I feel like, because also the divine masculine is like, I want to share my good news. I want to show you what I've achieved, what I have, you know, and I feel like there's, you know, it's this energy with the Hermit in reverse. You know, I'm going to tell you what I've learned, these deep lessons that I've learned. So we get the Knight of Wands. So we see that there's definitely this energy here. I think the feminine is taking a look at either this connection being very in and out of her life, or very ephemeral, or seeing it maybe as a fleeting romance, or, you know, that the masculine had one foot in the door and one foot out. And there may be a little bit of resentment. There may be a little bit of negative energy built up because I do feel like she's still feeling a bit miffed because she's feeling blocked. She wasn't able to manifest what she wanted. But again, like I said, this karma that we're seeing with the devil, she's, you know, she may have even moved into an obsessive negative energy. And I'm seeing maybe even resorting to spell work and that sort of thing. To call in the masculine. And you know, this needs to be addressed, okay? And this energy, although it very well may have been present, you know, you may have been dealing with the divine masculine, may have been juggling, or may have had a third party situation, but there's some sort of victory here that's going to allow the feminine to manifest love, balance, and union here. All right, and then we see the King of Wands. So I love this energy because the divine masculine is definitely, you know, a visionary leader. Okay, look at that. We have temperance, but what I'm seeing here, there needs to be patience, and there needs to be healing, and there needs to be balance within this connection. I feel very much so this King of Wands energy is the divine masculine focused on his business or on his health and needing to turn away, or feeling as if he needed to turn away from the feminine in order to make this happen or to make this a reality. All right. And as a result, the divine feminine seeing him as the Knight of Wands in reverse, a player, somebody who can't be trusted, somebody who, you know, who's thinking about passion and sex and not longevity and support. And that's true. But what I'm seeing here with the Hermit card in reverse, that at the same time, there's this realization within the masculine that is taking place or will be taking place that's going to bring him back to say, hey, I do need to resolve these conflicts with the feminine. I do also see my part in this situation, okay? And I may have been mistaken in thinking I needed to do this all on my own, or I had to do this on my own, or I couldn't, you know, include the divine feminine in this. But at the same time, there's this energy of codependency that needed to be addressed within the feminine. So it ultimately is raising your vibration for both of you. There are lessons here that are being learned for both of you during this time of separation or silence. Okay. So let's go ahead. And for some of you, if you don't know who your twin is, but you've been trying to call them in, this is the energy of what is blocking you. This, whatever it is that you're obsessed about, needing to purge and release some of that old wounding, and from an ending of something that you put a lot of time and energy into that didn't sort of come out the way that you wanted it to. I feel like with this purge and release, you have this victory. And maybe you don't even know who your divine masculine is, but I do feel like this is somebody who's a business owner, kind of somebody who has everything that they want, everything that they need, but they don't have you. All right, so let's go ahead and get some more messages. All right, so whoops, so we get loyal. Whoops, I didn't realize I was reading. And we also got next year. Okay, so yep, important messages, take them how you will. You may be getting, you know, it doesn't mean that nothing's going to happen until 2022, but what I'm seeing here for the divine feminine, being loyal to herself, to this healing journey, to this shift in focus, to this purge and release, is going to be calling in the divine masculine. And it may be maybe earlier than next year, but I do see like a committed relationship next year. Okay. So for the divine masculine here, we have irresponsible. So I do feel with this this Knight of Wands in reverse energy, the divine feminine is definitely taking a look at or viewing the masculine as irresponsible. I do feel like part of him is going to also have this realization or this awakening that yes, I was irresponsible in my thinking, that I had to do this all on my own, or that I couldn't include the divine feminine on this journey. Okay. And this lack of collaboration or lack of building each other up, because I do also feel like the divine masculine here doesn't or hasn't taken the time to recognize the pain that the divine feminine is experiencing, although ultimately it is building her up. And I feel like he's in this go, go, go mode of Page of Pentacles, head down, planning, focused on work. And I feel like there's some sort of, it may be a message, it may be a dream, it may be just that he decides or he feels called to like look her up on social media and realize that, you know, maybe not quite realizing how bad his actions have affected her, but at the same time it is bringing something to the surface for the divine feminine that needs to be purged and released. I do see that you guys are going to have an honest conversation about how to heal this connection. All right, there's definitely with the Aquarius and Sagittarius energy, Star and Temperance, respectively, in reverse, somebody here has given up hope. Okay, given up hope on restoration here, but I do see that there's some sort of honest conversation coming back towards you, or coming towards you at this time, whoever you might be. Okay, so let's see what other messages come through for my dear Pisces. All right, trust. It's safe to trust in this situation. So yeah, I do feel like there's a lack of trust, because I do feel that she's seeing the masculine as irresponsible, 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out. Maybe he has moved on with somebody else, or there was some sort of third party interference. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic rivals. But I also feel like with, you know, the divine feminine is in the process of learning to trust her intuition, okay, and her ability to manifest true love. So I do feel like the masculine here is recognizing that the love that the feminine gave him, or gives him, or will give him, is emotional, physical, and unconditional. And again, this is somebody who has everything that they need, somebody who's working towards their you know, their fame and their fortune, but the only thing they don't have is that divine feminine and the true love of his counterpart. Okay, but we get, there are some obstacles that are, there are unhealed wounds that are blocking forward movement, and I'm seeing this on both parties, on both sides. I do also feel like the feminine is taking a look at a situation in the past where, and maybe it's a pattern, a repeating pattern of calling in player types or people that weren't as committed as she is or was. But I do see with healing these wounds, with that devil energy and what's being brought to the surface, you know, she does call in her King of Wands in the upright, not only somebody who's successful in the 3D, and that means different things for all of us, but somebody, you know, this is divine masculine energy, father, husband, and again, it doesn't have to be along those gender lines, but somebody who's going to really step up and have her back, and somebody who is going to claim her, you know, not make her confused as to whether or not she's the only one. Oh my God, and I just heard Sam Smith with that, that she's not the only one. Make her feel like, you know, she is the only one, and having that safety and security of this relationship. So we get divine feminine goddess. So I do feel like everything that's happening, the divine feminine is up-leveling. I will contact you again. So that could be a message from the masculine, or it could be that the feminine is thinking about reaching out to the masculine. I'm a mess right now. Interesting. So I feel like this is what, you know, this is what I'm seeing here, that the divine masculine is either going to look up from what it is that he's been doing or what he's been focused on and realize that there's a mess that's been made out of this situation. He may also be seeing the divine feminine as somebody who, you know, somebody who has been hurt or disappointed by his actions, okay, where he may not have been able to see that before. I also get that there's, I just keep getting, I don't know why I keep getting it on this quadrant of the card, but they kind of just keep showing it to me. It's like what he's not looking at. It's like what he failed to plan for, you know, in making this exit or dipping from this connection and working on whatever this 10 of Pentacles is. And for some of you, it could be like another relationship, the divine masculine. But for many of you, it's work and it's stability and it's sort of getting where, you know, he feels he needs to be in order to have a relationship or to support anybody. And that doesn't have to be monetarily. But I feel like then there's this realization of, oh my God, I've got everything that I want, but I'm a mess without the love, the compassion, and the nurturing that that the feminine can give me. Okay. And then we get, I hope to reconcile. Yeah, look at that. So the divine masculine wanting to reconcile with the feminine. Again, if you don't know who this person is, it's just because, you know, twins find each other in every dimension and every lifetime. So, you know, it may just be when you meet, there's this deep understanding that you've known each other before. You've changed my life. So both of you on this twin flame journey have been heavily affected, and our sex melts me. So we do see that, you know, there may have been a history here where the masculine confused sex for intimacy. Okay, and we see that with the Knight of Wands. It could have also been a fleeting romance, is what I'm getting, where, you know, the masculine energy, or maybe even the feminine, was like, you know, this is just going to be like a friends with benefit situation, or this is going to be something that doesn't last very long, and it's much to the contrary. I feel like somebody here caught some pretty serious emotions. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the crystals. This is the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle. So let's see what messages come through. And I feel like as a result of this sort of situation, the silence, this separation, both the masculine and the feminine are becoming honest about, you know, about how they feel, what they want, and what they need. The feminine looking at, you know, any obsessive energy or negative imprinting or sadness or patterns that need to be resolved in order to bring her balance and success. And the masculine looking at, you know, hey, I actually need the feminine aspect in my life, because without it, I'm a mess, or there's something missing. Like I'm not meant to do this all completely on my own or one-sided, just very heavily in the masculine energy, bearing the weight of the world on his shoulders, right? So for the feminine, we get lapis lazuli. We get apatite. Ooh, these are two of my favorite cards, you guys, or crystals. And then we get Preseli bluestone. So look at all of this blue energy. Some of my Pisces out there, again, you guys are a water sign, so the color blue, you know, is going to be very important to you about emotions. I did just get a hit. Some of you guys might be blue star people, or from a blue star if you identify as star seeds as well. But again, that's not going to be for all of you. It's just going to be for some of you. All right, so we have the number 13, 33, and 19. So the Divine Feminine here is with lapis lazuli. I say it that way, but my encounter with this stone is from when I was speaking Spanish, and I lived in Colombia for many years, and so I always say it the way I learned to say it, which is lapis lazuli, but it may be pronounced differently in English. All right, so we have here heavenly wisdom. Lapis lazuli wards off calamities of all kinds, and was one of the most auspicious stones in the ancient world. You are an immortal soul who has profound connection with the heavens. Your purpose is noble. You yearn for spiritual attunement, but may be hampered by outmoded viewpoints. Yeah, that's what you're being blocked by. Outmoded viewpoints. This is being brought to the surface, Divine Feminine. Take charge of your life. Looking into the past puts your present experience into perspective. So we see that here with the Seven of Pentacles energy. You are a lineage breaker. Make effort to trace family history for deeper insight. You have a spiritual dis-ease. Work with dreams and journey inward to find deeper insights. Flashes of intuition show the way. Open your heart and third eye. Help comes from high, on high, or from the heavens. Enlightenment is within your grasp. Enhanced perception shows what operates beneath. Study or research is needed. Yours is the gift of true friendship. Protect yourself. Yes, beautiful energy here, you guys. Sagittarius, so some of you could be dealing with a Sag or have Sag in your chart. Now for the Divine Masculine, we have apatite, which is also one of my favorite stones. Let me see if I can grab it for you. I have it usually right here. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that brief pause. So this is some of the apatite that I have. Ooh, I'm gonna leave it right there. I love apatite. Well, I love the color blue too. So for the masculine, this is acceptance. Apatite works at the interface between consciousness and matter to let go of what is outworn in your life. So you can see that on both sides, the work that the masculine is doing is affecting the feminine and vice versa. Both are releasing some old patterning or imprinting or paradigms that have been holding them back from union. So clear away confusion or guilt. Accept the truth about yourself. You are a complex being with credits and deficits. Recognize these without judgment. Move away from aloofness or social alienation and show others who you truly are. There's that autonomy. So it's not about becoming codependent, but it's like moving out of this aloof energy. And this is what I've been picking up on this whole reading. The masculine is sort of making a shift back towards the feminine. You have much to offer by way of service as you access insights for the collective good. Be inspired, discern truth within, recognize what is real in your world, and restructure your reality. And that's what's happening. The masculine, I think, is, if he hasn't already, is about to or is on the verge of restructuring that reality to include the feminine aspects in his life. Don't be deceived by false fronts. See what is beneath. Develop your metaphysical perception. And he's also getting that sort of download or that inspiration from what's going on with the feminine. It's time to be of service to others. Teach what you know, because the divine masculine has been in this, in this energy of juggling, not collaborating, not wanting teamwork, not wanting to, to build somebody else up, just to build himself up, and not in a negative way. But now the time has come. There's this realization of, oh, wait, something's missing. Now, the timing here is Gemini. So we have Sagittarius and Gemini. So the Sagittarius-Gemini axis right now is what we're going through astrologically. But again, some of you guys, you have strong Sag or strong Gemini in your chart, or maybe your person has a North Node in one of those. Okay. And then what's going on between you, we have Preseli Bluestone, the inner compass. So, and I don't have one to show you guys, but Preseli Bluestone planted healing energies from the land of the ancestors into a sacred healing landscape. This stone accesses past, present, and future. Use natural medicine for ailments. Pay attention to your boundaries. So I feel like the divine masculine set up some very, very strong boundaries here that may have even been hurtful or shocking for the divine feminine. But dig deep into the past, access your memories, and cut yourself free. But in doing so, the feminine has been able to dig deep into her past, access memories, and cut herself free. Examine your deepest intentions and roots. Live in the present moment. Find your own direction and face challenges with equanimity. You have power to decide. Pay particular attention to your environment. Yes, very good. And so I see that here with the devil energy. The divine feminine may be realizing there are certain sounds or people or situations or foods or whatever it might be. Remember, I was picking up on strong Venus and Virgo energy, which is all of that, paying attention to what is healthy and what isn't healthy, what works and what doesn't work. So the timing for this is Taurus, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. All right, so I do feel like, both the divine feminine and the divine masculine, your spiritual compasses are sort of, are going back to their true north, which is going to bring you guys back into union. So I hope you guys found clarity and guidance in these messages. I'm sending you lots of love and light. Take care.